Stamina. It is the most important resource you have on your account. I currently barely have any, but I've been spending it in a lot of different ways, and I've invested in a lot of different characters. Yes, I have multiple DPSs, Yanqing, Seele, and Jin Yuan. However, I'm going to ignore all of them, and I just want to give you blunt information on what you should be investing your stamina into. Because I know, if you are prior to Trailblaze level 60, or 50, or 40, a lot of individuals don't know what they want to do. A lot of individuals don't know what to invest in, because being completely honest, it isn't clear in a lot of ways. If I'm looking at my Yanqing here, if I'm looking at my Seele, and let's look at her, she's E2, she has her light cone. Yes, I know, but she is an individual who I would actually use as a reference point for a lot of other people, because let's be honest, removing this light cone, removing the crit she gets from it, and instead just giving her this one, she has pretty bad stats. 33 to 119, it's not even. And a lot of people's first mindset is to immediately go and farm relics. For the most part, these relics are where the main majority of your stats will come from. And so as a result, many individuals want to get this full set just for the bonus, whether it's crit rate here, or inert Sal's Auto for crit rate again, or just get the bonus defense shred. I understand that. Relics in no capacity are ever going to be worth it though. So where should you be spending it? If we're looking at your account, the vast majority of your characters will always overlap in the trace materials they need. If you know you're getting Yanqing, if you know you're gonna prep and get another hunt character, just farm out these mats. And the reason I say this is because yes, the experience and the credits you need long-term are going to stack up, because yes, you're going to be ascending a bunch of characters. Yes, you're going to be investing into relics. Those are already valuable. You already know that. But trace materials, unfortunately, they don't essentially scale upwards as well as relics do, as well as ascension mats do. It's best to wait to farm these out, because yes, these do equal your equilibrium level. If you're equilibrium level 5, you're going to get 5 of these, and 6, and so on. And so as a result, these are stagnant. You know what you're getting no matter what you spend it on. You know you're gonna get 5. And so you can plan these out, and maybe if you know you're gonna hit Trailblaze level 60 or 70 or whatever in a couple of days, you can pre-plan and say, yay, all my stamina today is gonna be spent on this until I get this amount. And you can look at your characters and say, they're gonna need this, they're gonna need this. Because the resource itself isn't fluctuating in any capacity. It's not RNG, it's not randomized in any way, shape, or form. You're not getting 6 and then 4 and then 3 and then 5. It's not like Genshin. And so you can comfortably plan that out. With your light cones though, you need the light cone ascension mat. You need the light cone ascension mat. And these don't drop, these do. But these don't drop comfortably. Yesterday, every ounce of my stamina went into farming out the light cone ascension materials for the hunt path. I got, as you see here, 4. I didn't spend these from the moment I started farming them. I am Trailblaze level 53 or 54, whatever I am, and all my stamina went into that, and you see where the distribution was, 86, 39, 4. These don't scale upwards. So if you're level 40, if you're level 30, whatever the case may be, it is always going to be best to farm these out, because you're not getting purple drops often. You're not getting blue drops often enough to justify it. It's not worth saving up your resources to say, I'm gonna blow them all on the light cone ascension materials because they're more valuable later on. No, they're valuable no matter what. You need them no matter where you are. And the higher your characters get, the more expensive these are. These cost so much more than anything else. If I'm looking at this is completely fine, but every one of these minor traces and every one of these major ones dramatically ups the cost in terms of what you have to spend in stamina to recover from it. Looking at a character I don't invest in a lot, I have my Tingyun. All of these materials here, whether it's blue or green, are perfectly fine to farm out, and they're relatively easy. But for your hunt characters, your main DPSs, even a Jin Yuan, these mats and these resources are incredibly uncommon. You're going to get drops from Simulated Universe. I understand that. You're going to want to build up your relics because yes, they matter a lot. But if I'm looking at just what we get now at Trailblaze level 50, at 60, there is never a point to where I can say this is more valuable than anything else you could farm. I would honestly look at you and say, yeah, you know what? Go farm experience for a whole day because these levels are at least guaranteed. Go farm your light cone mats because this ascension is guaranteed to be more improvement to your account than hypothetically going out and trying to farm a good set for a character that you really don't need it on. Even if it's your defensive characters, your preservation units like Fire MC, or your healers, or even just your buffers, a decent enough 4-star relic set or just a good main set is way more valuable than getting a nice 5-star set with awful substats. What is this? These substats don't do anything. So yes, I know that boiled down to, hey, farm out your trace materials, but hey, they're really useful. And hey, even though light cones make a big difference, you're spending the same resources on this light cone as you would with any other. And that equilibrium level affects your main stat. It affects everything but your trace stats, but what you're getting in drop rates. But if you're done up on that, farm your experience. Farm your experience. Don't farm credits. I'm gonna be honest, I was at 3 million when I first started building up Zila, and then I got Genuine, and then I built up everyone else here, and I am at, what, like 2? If I'm looking at this, I'm at 2.1. I didn't spend as many resources as I thought I would, and especially with the current events, there's no point in farming credits, just farm experience. You're gonna need an unholy amount of that. And we don't have nearly enough characters to justify farming out the relic set for. Even if I'm looking at my Genuine, his set drops the lightning piece set and then the defensive set. I don't have enough defense needing characters to justify picking out and farming a good version of that set, or to justify farming for Genuine. Yes, Yanqing wants the ice set, and yes, as a result of that ice set, the wind set drops. But that wind set is only gonna go to Dan Heng, and I don't want to use Dan Heng. So as a result, it's not worthwhile. Relics as a whole have the same issue as Genshin, wherein you have one set that you want, another set that you don't want. And in some cases like this set, yeah, the main set may be good and the side set may be good for a bunch of other characters. The problem is, however, unlike Genshin, there is no off piece. You need a 2-piece set here in the center and a 4-piece set externally. And that means that you could have a system or something like this where it's crit damage. And you may want crit rate for your Genuine, but all you're getting is crit damage here, crit damage there. And you may have a crit rate piece that's being unused because you don't have a character of that element. And unfortunately for you, you can't suck that on to anybody because you need that 4-piece set. You need that full piece. You can't have an off piece, and it makes it incredibly difficult to ever justify farming relics when, for the vast majority of people, you won't be getting the value you could have. I don't like comparing this to Genshin because I know it's a different game, but relics here are far worse than artifacts in Genshin because that offset, that off piece, you don't realize how much of a difference that makes until you're trying to get crit rate on your Genuine. You're like, well, I guess I'm using a 4-star. And yes, I am salty having to use a 4-star in this character, just like I'm salty about having a bad piece here, or just like I'm salty about this one off piece. Doesn't matter. Anyways, if you're a casual player and you made it this far, my recommendation is just don't worry about it. Being honest, the end game or mid game doesn't matter. Don't rush forward because when you do that, you're going to reach this brick wall where you can't progress because you can't build up your characters and you don't have enough resources to build them up in the way that you want. We aren't at the stage where all that matters, and the rewards from Memory of Chaos are not worth it. Have fun, take your time, log on, and whenever you do, just decide to, hey, maybe you're going here. Maybe you're spending it all on hunt mats. Maybe you're spending it all on experience. It doesn't matter. As long as you're spending it on something, you're getting some form of value out of it. Even if it's on relics. As much as I hate that, I would say if you spend it on relics, you're at least getting fodder that you can put in later. But that's just me. You may have a different opinion. These events, they're okay. I'd honestly say, don't worry about the extra challenge. That 20k doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things. Use this as a trial run. If you're considering Genuine, my recommendation is just, do you like him as a character? If you do, cool. But if you're looking at his damage, it seems nice, but please keep in mind, Simulated Universe will always buff a character, the test runs will always buff a character, and the events dramatically improves him as well. So you're never going to get an accurate reading, unfortunately, because you may not get his light cone, or you may not have the ideal set for him, ideal team for him, or relic set, or whatever the case may be. Just take your time. There's no rush. The end game isn't here. The story isn't here. Just take a break. Either way, subscribe if you made it this far, and I'll see you next time.